sure love. It'll be grand.
By the Lord, Mother and Suffering, Hyphern, Jesus. That was a bit too far. I went over the top there. We're back. We are back. I feel like I say this once every 6 to 8 weeks now, but this time I mean it. Isn't that right, Dan?
You have a Newfoundland accent.
Well, funny story about the Newfoundland accent, actually. No, we're not going into that. Me and Dan were just discussing the intricacies of Canadian accent culture prior to me pressing record. We're not rehashing it. What we are doing is we're rehashing the whole damn podcast.
Kind of tweaking here and there.
Yeah, we're moving around now. I want to be, just to clarify here, I said, I mean it. Dan didn't say any such thing. Okay?
No.
So you can't hold both of us accountable for this. You can just blame it on me if anything goes wrong in the future. I will put my hands up. We're here. We're doing another episode. What's going to happen first at the top of the hour, the middle of the hour, the start of the hour, the quarter past the hour, whatever hour you choose to listen to this episode as of the first Sunday of the month? Some housekeeping, first of all.
Yes,
New episodes are coming once again to a regularly scheduled broadcast. We will be releasing full episodes. That's your fucking hour and a half long movie review dive stuff that we do and love and that you know us for. The first Sunday of every month. Thus, today being the first Sunday of June. It's June, right? It's June.
It's June.
The first Sunday of June. It's a new episode. It's the first Sunday of every month. Put it in your calendars, your mobile devices, your old-fashioned Rolodexes.
Yeah.
No, they're for
you actually schedule things.
They're for phone numbers, you idiot. Yeah. Oh God, fucking! This is a great start. Don't even know what a Rolodex is.
Hey! People can schedule things in their Rolodex. I'm not going to judge them.
Well, look, whatever what happens between a man or woman and their Rolodex,
and non-binary person,
and non-binary persons, what happens between you and your Rolodex should stay with you. And no, I'm not talking about
the 80s.
A watch. Oh, yeah, they were definitely. Did they have Rolodexes in the 80s? Isn't it 70s, 80s? Yeah, it's 80s. You're right. They had them in that movie that I watched that one time.
In the 80s, you're still
I remember them. I remember them well. Yeah.
You weren't born until the 90s.
That's true. I forgot about that part. Yeah. I don't remember them that well then, obviously. Yeah. First Sunday of every month. We're doing a full length episode, and then we're going to do little reviews. I think. Dan, take it away.
Yes.
Tell me about this part.
We're looking at doing maybe 20 to 25 minute long mini reviews of any movies you've been watching throughout the month. That's probably where a lot of the big cinema movies that are coming out, where we'll slot them in. We want to leave the big episodes to maybe movies that anyone can hold off and just enjoy and relax and maybe even know a thing or two about. It's not to say that we don't enjoy doing movies that come out fresh in cinema. We both love going to the cinema, but I think there is something more interesting for viewers, and I think for us, to kind of delve into movies of the past or movies from different countries, because we're not looking at what everyone else is looking at. We're not watching what everyone else is watching. We have a little corner and we enjoy that. I think that's the way to go forward with it. But yeah, so we'll have the 20 to 25 minute reviews, quick telling you how we feel about them, and it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to them as well.
And let's not beat around the bush here. We can do that length of review without spoiling things, and we know all of you guys are a bunch of fucking pussholes who care about spoilers.
I don't think we've ever heard a single person complain about spoilers.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you've never heard anyone call a pusshole. I think I just made that word up, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I don't think anyone's ever complained about spoilers.
Disgusting.
I mean, I'm just saying, folks, if you're listening to a podcast that's reviewing movies, don't give out about us perhaps talk about the movie.
Or do. Do whatever you like. I won't listen to you, but you can do whatever you want.
I'll listen.
Ah, yeah, okay. There you go. Pin that one on Dan. He'll listen to your complaints.
I'll listen
I won't.
to you, folks.
I certainly won't. So that's what's happening going forward. Now, also, we are going to be expanding on some certain episode structures. Splitting Hairs is coming back in a big way at some point, eventually. I don't know why I said at some point eventually. That felt weird. Like I sold it. I oversold the start and then immediately went, at some point, we're doing this big thing, and then at some point, but splitting hairs, we're going to do more of those. We're going to do more fun, random little episodes about various topics that we choose, and sometimes maybe you guys choose. If you want to choose them and want to get straight to us first, we will also, in the very near future, be launching a Patreon. If you feel like supporting us in our endeavors,
why do you make it sound sinister?
Because
don't you join us, people?
You want to come and sit with us.
We also have a separate link for our OnlyFans.
You're gonna have to slide a few doubloons my way. Help me pay for this lifestyle. Help.
This severe lifestyle we have, yes. Like
severe
really
is one way of putting it.
Water and solid food,
I'm quite fond of being alive on most days of the week.
Yeah, I was about to say.
3 out of 7, maybe. I don't know. Sometimes I like being alive. Yeah, it's a solid half of the week, maybe at certain points.
You have to look forward to certain things.
Keep an eye out for that.
The next Dune movie coming out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We gotta wait till November. To keep an eye out for that. We will launch that properly in the coming weeks or whenever we feel like doing it. And there'll be fun bits to throw a few fucking dollar bills into my G-string, and I'll give you some fun bits.
Again, folks, it's just a Patreon. We're not doing an OnlyFans, just to make it clear, because it's kind of blurring the lines there a little bit.
I'm doing an OnlyFans, okay?
It is.
I don't know what you guys are doing.
Connected to the show.
Come on, hey, whoa, hang on now, just a second, all right? I've seen the ads for OnlyFans, all right? It's just a platform to help connect creators with their fans. All right.
Oh, connects them. All right.
That's how OnlyFans sells itself. It's not their fault. It got taken over by porn stars or non-porn.
No, hold on. Just to make it clear, nothing against porn stars. Fair play. OnlyFans. Woo. It's just we're not doing it. I'm not doing it. The show will not be connected to doing it because he's winking at me in a suggestive manner right now.
Wink, wink. We're not wink, wink doing it. Wink, 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 wink. Was that too many winks?
I mean, depends what part of you is winking. Oh.
Hey, wait a minute. Anywho, what are we doing this week? Right now, why are we here? Never mind. Who cares? What have you been up to, Dan? You watched anything good lately that isn't the movie we're talking about today?
Have I watched anything? I watched the new Spider-Man movie.
Oh shit, yeah, I haven't. I didn't get a chance yet. I might go
we can do
tomorrow.
A little review on that next week, maybe. If people.
Well, then I should probably watch it then. Yeah.
You should. I quite enjoyed it. It went past very quickly, and I was just like, "How are they going to wrap this up?" And then I realized in the last minute that, oh wait, this is a 2-part movie. So,
I don't think I knew.
Yeah.
Was that?
Yeah, that was announced a long while ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to part 2 whenever that comes out. I've been watching a lot of Star Trek. I rewatched the original series. I'm watching some spin-off and some fan-made stuff as well. There's a few cool fan-made movies and TV shows out there. Some not so fun ones. But yeah, that's just kind of what I've been doing. And you?
Well, thanks for asking. Not really, to be honest. I haven't been up to a whole lot.
Ted Lasso. Sorry.
Ted Theodore Lasso. Is that his name? Theodore? I don't know.
No,
it's just Ted.
I don't think so.
Just Ted.
Ted. Yeah.
Just Ted. Yeah, that
over.
ended. That's over forever.
Yeah, I said this to a few people. It's like waving goodbye to a friend from a train station. You're just like, you're glad you have them in your life, but it's sad saying goodbye. Just like, oh, all right.
Yeah. Now I haven't seen the latest season.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of it. Any of the latest
Yeah,
season. I've seen I saw the first season of Ted Lasso, obviously, because I told you to watch it. But I haven't seen the new season, the last season. I don't think I was even aware it was the final season. But, however, I have seen a lot of people complaining about it.
About season 2 or season 3?
About the latest season. A lot of people said it was kind of unbearable.
I don't agree. I don't know what to tell you. I thought it was really enjoyable. I think they tied up some really nice things. I think they looped back to things that were planted that we didn't even realize were planted. People were giving out about season 2 as well, and I really enjoyed season 2. So I don't know, man.
I think I don't know. I think maybe some people I don't know. I guess people can only handle so much of Ted Lasso's thing. I guess. I don't really know, to be honest. I mean, obviously, I haven't seen it, so I didn't read the full reviews or anything. I've just seen a lot of people prior to the final episode airing were kind of complaining, or they were kind of like, I'm kind of glad it's over because the last season was a bit bleh. But I'll watch it and I'll find out for myself. And I'll update you.
As Ted said many times, well, not many times, he said once in the final season, he says, he recommends changing the title because it's never all about him. It's a good line.
Doesn't make sense to me, but sure.
You'll get it. You'll get it when you get it.
Will I?
You will.
Okay.
It's quite...
Well, if I don't get it, because I'm pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ted Lasso. Let us know if you've been anybody out there watching Tedrick Lassington. What the hell have I been watching? I don't know. Any things I haven't mentioned on this that I watched semi-recently? Finally got around to watching Jurassic World Dominion. Have I said this on the show before? It's fucking garbage.
Yeah, I mean, I could have told you that before you watched it.
Yep.
Cool.
And then, fucking garbage. Terrible movie. I watched The King's Man semi-recently.
Oh, yeah. That was
the most insane fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire fucking life, period. Period.
Also not very good. Sorry.
No, it's terrible. Like, it's really, really bad, but the plot is the most bonkers. Like,
oh, yeah, it is, yeah.
It's so fucking... It's like a really weird, like...
It's like a Flash Gordon comic.
Yeah, it's like a... I was gonna say it's like a really shit, like, Elseworlds comic from the 80s or something. It's just like...
Well, not even 80s, like 50s and 60s.
Yeah, it's like they fucking... Yeah. Here in this weird alternate reality spin-off, what if the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen fought Hitler? And it's like, what are you doing?
What was the second? The Golden Compass or something?
The second Kingsman?
Yeah, what was that
the
called?
Kingsman
the Golden
and Golden Circle.
Yeah.
All I remember is...
I thought, Country Road.
Elton John is in it, right? He's like the bad guy or some shit at the end. Is it Elton John? It is Elton John, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's Elton John.
I just like that scene where he sings Country Road. That was very good.
Yeah, it's just, God, The King's Man was so bad. And
it's just terrible because the first movie is amazing.
First one's really good. First one's a very good film.
You know?
It was quite refreshing and well done. And then it's just been an awful downward spiral ever since.
Like they kept on trying to do different things. Like, we'll go to America this time. That didn't work out. Oh, we'll go back in time. World War I.
Well, that certainly didn't work out for them. Let me tell you that much. It's just when the plot is like a secret cabal of like actual historical villains.
Yeah.
Being like Rasputin and Gavrilo Princip, who, for those of you who didn't take Leaving Cert History or whatever the kind of Junior Cert History maybe, is the man who shot the Archduke Franz Ferdinand and therefore started World War One, which is a
you mean the guy who was like sick with syphilis, who was doing this basically as a suicide run, along with
and it's a plot point. It's a plot point in the movie, not that he has syphilis. The plot point of the movie is that the guy who, because the King's Men don't exist yet, it's just some guy from England who's like a knob and won't let his son go and fight in the war. It's him and his maid who runs his secret network of spies who are maids in rich people's houses all over Europe. They go to Vienna to stop Gavrilo Princip from shooting Franz Ferdinand, and they fail, and then World War One starts, and then they have to stop another thing that was real, which was like a false flag thing that the Germans did to get America to invade Mexico instead of joining the war in Europe. They were trying to they set up something. They were like an assassination, and they were trying to convince America it was the Mexicans that did it or something, and America was going to invade Mexico. They foiled that one.
Scene of that?
Uh-huh.
Remember the after credit scene of this movie?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. God. Yeah. It's so stupid.
That's not being made. They were bringing Hitler to the fold.
Yeah, but it's the way they do it, right? Because the what's his name? Rasputin dies. He's like kind of they go through the whole like the semi-historical thing of that, like Rasputin was shot 4 times and he was poisoned 9 times and then they drowned him and then blah blah, blah and he kept coming back. Whatever. Takes ages to kill the fucker, and then they climb a big mountain and they fight some Scottish guy, and then
really weird mountain as well. It's just flat.
Really, yeah, it's like Ben Bulben, like it's just a big fucking rock, and then the end, it's like a guy who I can't remember, Lenin, not John, Vladimir Lenin.
yeah.
Are standing in just a bunker somewhere, and it's like dark and creepy, and it's like it's like the Red Skull's basement or something, and they're just standing there, and it's like, we must continue the plan. Let me introduce you to the man who will top everything you've ever done, the future of our establishment or whatever. And from the shadows out steps a young man with a tightly cropped mustache above his top lip. And Lenin says, "Hello, comrade. What is your name?" And the final scene is a close-up of this man's face, and he says, "Hitler. Adolf Hitler." And then the music plays.
Unrelated, but kind of related. Older men, if you grow mustaches, like a proper top of your lip mustache, as you get older, either just shave it off or dye it, because that look where it kind of goes grey at the side and slowly starts creeping in and there's only black in the middle, it does not work well when you're walking down the street and see someone wearing that and you're like,
yeah, you see it and you say, oh, dip. It's Adolf Hitler. He's back again. Yeah. That's what I say personally whenever I see a man with any sort of a mustache. Oh no, it's Hitler. Or maybe Charlie Chaplin. Who knows? Anyway, that's enough about that shite. Our movie today, or what we're going to talk about, I suppose, is specifically and more generally, is called Bottle Rocket. And no, it's not just my nickname in college. It's a real movie called Bottle Rocket. It's by Wes Anderson. It's a Wes Anderson movie. We chose this, of course, to celebrate or to nod or to get some fucking hits off of the fact that
content, baby.
Yeah, that Wes Anderson has a new movie coming out in a couple of weeks, whose name I have forgotten yet again. It's called something, and it's coming out. It's called Asteroid City, and Scarlett Johansson and some other guy are in it.
It's sci-fi, isn't it?
I don't know what. To be honest with you, it's coming out anyway. Not that much, and so we're gonna rewind and do Bottle Rocket today. So
his first movie.
Yeah, Bottle Rocket.
Well, his first big movie.
Wes Anderson's feature film directorial debut.
Yeah.
Also
based on a short film.
Based on a short film. Also the debut of Owen and Luke, the brothers Owen and Luke Wilson, and also the third brother,
brother that
Andrew,
no one talks about,
who's also in this, but whatever.
Yeah,
so this is this was released in 1996, February 21st, 1996. 2 days before I turned 4, this came out. A big moment in my life.
Yeah. Do you remember watching it at the time?
This was what I did for my 4th birthday. Actually, I went to.
Your parents didn't like you a lot.
Oh, they didn't bring me to see it. There was a fella who used to drive around and sell bootleg DVDs out the back of a van.
DVDs when you were 4?
Not DVDs.
What the fuck are you
VHS tapes. Sorry.
Thank you very much.
I liked the cut of Owen Wilson's jib on the cover, and I went, "Oh yeah, cool." It wasn't even a real cover. He didn't have a printer, so he just drew a picture of Owen Wilson on a VHS and sold it to me out of a van.
£2 at the time.
Life was fucking rough when I was 4. That was the 90s for you.
2 punts.
Oh yeah. That's 1996. This was released by Columbia Pictures and Sony Distributing. This was directed, of course, by Wes Anderson, with a screenplay by Owen Wilson and Wes Anderson. And of course, as Dan mentioned, it's based on a short film that Owen Wilson and Wes Anderson did a couple of years before, which is also called Bottle Rocket. It stars...
and they edited a few scenes in it to make it so that both movies have one continuity between each other.
Nice. It stars Owen Wilson, Luke Wilson, Robert Musgrave, Andrew Wilson, and the late, the great Mr. James Caan. Rest in peace to James Caan, who I guess I knew he was dead, but I forgot until we watched Bottle Rocket, and then I was a little bit sad again. Great guy. James Caan, obviously. What's his most famous thing? The Godfather. He's fucking Sonny in The Godfather, isn't he? So they're all in that, and that's what we're going to talk about today. This had a budget of $5 million, which is a lot for a small movie and a first movie, and it made less than $600,000 at the worldwide box office. So
however, like, it did get some attention. Like, Scorsese was like adamant, like, supporter of this movie.
He was. We'll discuss that in detail in a moment.
Oh, very good. I see we both have notes.
Yes. We're on some sort of a same page today, I think, somehow. Anyway, let's do it. I'm gonna play the jingle.
What the hell is going on?
What the hell is going on with Wes Anderson, the man? We'd be remiss not to use this opportunity to talk about him a little bit, and I suppose his filmography. To answer a question that Dan asked me off air, his full name is Wesley Wales Anderson.
Oh, could you imagine if you had like another W name?
www.anderson. I'm surprised he doesn't go by W.W. Anderson. I feel like if he had become an author, which I think is what he wanted to do, he would probably his pen name probably would have been W.W. Anderson.
I mean, that's literally like a dictionary.
That's
fucking.
It sounds like W.W. Anderson, like T.S. Eliot
encyclopedia.
Yeah, it's very like old poet type, like, you know, T.S. Eliot, J.R. Tolkien, H.R. Geiger. No, H.R. Geiger.
Nintendo console. If you use my initials, Nintendo DS. Yeah.
And I'm pretty fucking easy, baby. Who's H.R. Geiger? Why did that name come in my head? He was an artist, wasn't he?
Yes.
He sci-fi guy.
Aliens.
He
did Aliens.
Is the Xenomorph, and he did all the old sci-fi.
All the weird phallic shapes that are everywhere.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I knew who that was. Anyway, Wesley Wales W.W. Anderson is an American film maker. Little known fact. He's from... Can't remember. He was born in Houston, Texas. And I really like his parents' names. His mother was called Texas Ann.
Yeah, and she's a photographer.
No.
Yes.
She's an archaeologist.
She's a photographer.
She's a realtor and archaeologist, Tan.
I'm fairly sure. Are you sure?
Yep. It's in front of me. She's an archaeologist. Okay. His dad called Mel...
no, I'm thinking Owen Wilson's ma. Sorry.
Owen Wilson's mother. Yeah, sorry. We'll get to him. Relax. Don't jump the gun that quickly. Yeah, Texas Ann, and that's not like... Do you know...
Euphemism.
What's the game? What's the... How do you get your porn star name again? It's like...
Oh,
the street, the name of your first...
And your first pet.
Isn't it? Wouldn't that be... Texas Ann. What's your porn star name then?
Oh, God. I don't know the street. The street I was like growing up.
Yeah.
Like my first... and then my first pet, Zoltau Joey. Fuck, something like that. Power Ranger.
Zolta Joey. Jesus
Zoltau
Christ.
Joey.
I didn't live on a street. So.
No, Bonta.
I'm not from Bonta, you pig. Dare you? No, I'm not. They're completely different. They're 3 miles apart.
Yeah, yet your neighbor uses Bonta as his address.
No, he doesn't.
Did back when I knew.
Yes, no, he fucking didn't. That piece of dirt.
Not
Fall to him.
Okay, let's not go into family.
Anyway,
feuds.
I didn't, but I guess it was. I didn't have a street name, so it was just Actually, my first pet was called Duke.
Oh,
So my
just
porn
be called
name,
the Duke.
I'm just the Duke would be my porn name.
That's pretty good, actually.
I actually kind of like that. Please refer to me only as the Duke from now on. Thank you very much. Anyway, aside from Wesley Wells Anderson's mother was not a porn star, as mentioned. She was a realtor / archaeologist. Not sure how you combine those two. I guess she digs up houses and sells them. Bada bing! That's a joke for you guys. Next up on the list, his dad was called Melver Leonard.
Those are interesting names.
Right? Melver.
Yeah.
I've never in my life seen that name before.
Melver.
Melver Leonard
you were
Anderson.
bullied in school.
Yeah. Melver.
Yeah.
But again, all of them, and I should have checked this for. Oh no, I have one of his brother's names. Like all of them sound like authors. Like if you just use initials, it would have been T.A. Anderson, M.L. Anderson, and his brother would have been E.C. Anderson.
See, I think the Anderson is carried.
W.W. Anderson. It is a little bit, but it's just.
Yeah, like I say, D.S. Anderson. No, that still sounds like a weird.
D.S. Anderson, E.C. Anderson, which is his brother's initials. I am his brother. It's time we reveal all. That's how I got where I am in this industry today. I'm Wes Anderson's brother. God.
He's not a really good brother, is he?
No, he didn't do much for me.
Do
to be
more.
fair. He didn't do a whole lot for me. To be fair, Wes Anderson, second of three boys. One of his brothers is a doctor, and his younger brother, E.C. Anderson, is an artist, and his paintings can be seen in like most of Wes Anderson's films. At some point, you'll see one of his paintings hanging up. Not the same painting.
He's one of the brothers. Huh?
Yeah, well, like different. Well, I mean, the other guy's a doctor. He doesn't need much help. I think he's doing all right.
I was mentioning you.
Oh,
to continue the show.
Shut up! I'm not ready to talk about it.
All right,
trauma.
To Duke.
Trauma. Anyway, all right. It's just the Duke, okay? Leave Bond out of this. Anyway, he went to school in Houston, and then he went to high school in Houston, and then he used that high school as a filming location for one of his other movies called Rushmore, which is the movie that he did after this one that we're talking about today, and is the movie that kind of like made him. It did really well, to be fair. Rushmore, it was like a comedy with Bill Murray in it. Did really, really well. Relaunched Bill Murray's whole fucking thing, and Bill Murray has been in every single Wes Anderson film since.
He has.
Every single one of them. Unless he's not in the new one, in which case I take it back. No, I don't. He has been.
I've had close to fist fights with people when I said, I'm not mad on him. Not Wes Anderson.
Billiam Murray?
Bill Murray. Yeah,
I'm
never
like...
tried to Bill Murray.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm not like...
Yeah.
I think his thing fits sometimes, but I mostly don't like... I guess we, like, neither of us were around when he was, like, massive either.
Yeah,
like in the 80s when he did like Groundhog Day and Ghostbusters and all that shit, when he was like huge, and then he dropped off, and then he did Rushmore, and that kind of made him like sort of popular again. Yeah,
he was in Osmosis Jones.
He was
the body.
It all takes place inside the body of Bill Murray, and is where I got my Xbox Live name.
And every other online.
Every other username I've ever had. Yeah, basically is Cosmosis. Yeah. I'm very I thought of it once. I thought that's very clever, and I've never put any more effort into a username ever again. Yeah. Learn from me, children. Next up. Sorry, no, we're not next up. We're still on Wes Anderson. Anyway, he went to college. He made some silent films with his dad's camera. That's how he got into movies. Wanted to be an author, I think. He wanted to be a writer, but then ended up doing movies and shit. Went to the University of Texas at Austin, where his roommate was one Mr. Owen Wilson. And that's how they met, and that's how they made Bottle Rocket together. Owen Wilson, nice. I think, got expelled from the college, but Wes Anderson graduated with a major in philosophy, I think. Yeah. Okay. What's your? How do you feel about Wes Anderson?
I enjoy him overall. I mean, like, I enjoy his style. Don't get me wrong. but his almost leans on unbearable at times. It's almost distracting for me. Okay, here's the deal. I appreciate the craft. I appreciate the thinking put into it. But it really pulls me out of like suspension of disbelief. Like everything is very
Like
much framed
it's
as a film.
It's overtly obvious that this is a movie kind of thing.
Yeah,
like it's
exactly.
like
Yeah,
stuff doesn't look like that, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I like him, like in general terms. I think he does he has a very particular nuance to his movies that it's immediately obvious when you're watching a Wes Anderson film. It's like,
oh sure, even this movie we were like waiting for it, like when's it gonna happen? When's it gonna happen?
Yeah,
and it did happen.
It's like it's very very recognizable, but
Yeah.
and that like his visual style, but like he's quite good at what he does. To be like, he's a very very talented filmmaker.
Again,
He's
like this is like me not loving his movies. There's nothing down to
No,
me thinking
yeah, it's
he's
fine.
not
This is-
talented and skillful. Very much so.
you're allowed not have huge feelings either way on something.
Yeah. I definitely think the man is intelligent. He knows his craft and he know what he's doing. Like I don't think he's a hack or anything. Far from it.
Yeah, he's not Tim Burton or anything. Come on. I would say I will say, like, while I've seen most of his movies at this point, there's a couple I haven't seen, like the one that came out last year was that the French Connection I haven't seen. Haven't watched any of the fucking bullshit stop motion crap. But I liked them. Overall, I like all of the movies of his that I've seen, but I'd say I'd have to be you have to be in a particular mood to want to sit down and watch Wes Anderson, I think. Like, you're not going to just fucking shtick one on. With the exception
you
of...
experience an art performance.
Yeah. With possibly, like... the big movie... I'm sorry, I'm talking like obviously everyone knows who Wes Anderson is. I assume everyone knows who the fuck Wes Anderson is at this point. But, like, the big one, the kind of... The one that became more than just a Wes Anderson movie, I think, even though it is also possibly the most Wes Anderson of any of his movies, is The Grand Budapest Hotel. Like, that was...
Okay.
That won a fucking bucket ton of... That was nominated for Best Picture and shit. Like, and people, like...
Yeah.
People who are not... People who I would say are, like, casual movie watchers have seen and liked The Grand Budapest Hotel.
I think the more impressive thing is that people who haven't even seen it know of it.
Yeah, but that's like that.
You know?
The Grand Budapest Hotel broke through. Like, people had heard, even if you hadn't seen it, people were like, "Oh yeah, I know that one. Yeah, that's the I've seen the poster. I watched, or somebody was talking about it or whatever." That kind of, like, at least I would say that was the. It became not just like, oh, it's another Wes Anderson movie, even though it is. It's very, very, very Wes Anderson, but it's also like a bigger thing. Do you have a favorite Wes Anderson movie?
What's the one with Bill Murray being like a deep sea diver person?
I was not sure to say what's the one with Bill Murray. All of them. The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, I think.
That's it. I quite enjoyed that one.
That's good. Yeah. Owen Wilson's in that one too, I think.
He is.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
He is.
Yeah, that's a good film.
Yeah.
I like that. I always like the Royal
You?
Tenenbaums.
Yeah, I
Quite
think
like that
I
one.
think as big as Grand Budapest is, I think that one was the most popular and well known of his for years and years and years. You know.
Yeah, it probably was, yeah. Yeah, maybe we'll do. I don't know. Let us know. Tell us, give us your a ranking of Wes Anderson movies. Not you right now. I mean, people elsewhere.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next momentous occasion. Like I was saying, yeah, drop us your Wes Anderson rankings if you have them, if you care about Wesley Wales W.W. Anderson. Moving on to his roommate and frequent collaborator, Owen Wilson.
Oh, I thought you meant the historic roommate. They were good friends.
And they were roommates. Shout out Vine. Owen Wilson, also a Texan. Obviously, he was born in Dallas and went to fucking school with Wes Anderson. What do you tell me about fucking Owen Wilson?
He was in the greatest movie ever made,
Which is
Zoolander.
You think Zoolander's the greatest movie ever made?
No, I'm being facetious.
Zoolander 2,
Zoolander.
you mean?
No, I mean the first Zoolander. Oh,
Did Zoolander 2 have a subtitle? Was it like was it just Zoolander 2? Toolander. Should have been that. They should hire me. Hey, Ben Stiller.
I mean,
get me on to the next one.
Better.
Here it is. It's called Zoolander, but the E at the end is a 3. There you go. I've done it again. Because for the next one, I mean.
Oh,
be the third.
Right, okay.
Zoolantrier.
Okay.
I'm a genius.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, I love Owen Wilson. I loved him. In every rom-com he was ever in, he's very much hilarious. He was with Jackie Chan in a few movies as well, I believe. Shanghai something? Or am I getting that wrong?
Shanghai Noon, and then I think they did a sequel called Shanghai Nights. I want to say, or did they do the sequel? Maybe they planned a sequel. I do remember Shanghai Noon though.
Yeah. And yeah, we were saying it's weird to us that how young he is. Because, yeah.
I feel like because he's been around for basic I know so Bottle Rocket, obviously this one that we're talking about was his first film. And it's 1996. So Owen Wilson has been around as an actor basically my whole life.
Yeah.
There's never been a time where there wasn't an Owen Wilson movie happening. It's which obviously you can say for a lot of people, but I would have guessed he was older than 54.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Owen. He's turned into a meme now. I think for a lot of people. Though, wow, that was actually a good one. That wasn't too bad.
That was actually, yeah. That was quite good. Do it again. Do another one.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, our special guest on the podcast this week, it's Owen Wilson. How you doing?
Wow.
You spell your name wrong.
Wow.
Is that is that all you know how to say?
He's been acting for a long time, and he's
so in character right now. He can say two things. He can say
it's pretty wowing,
and then he can also say ka-chow.
Wow. Ka-chow.
Ka-chow.
Caw-caw. Caw-caw.
Owen Wilson, of course. Everybody knows who the fuck Owen Wilson is. Even if you're only a little Marvel stooge, you know who he is now because he was in the Loki thing.
Oh, stop it.
What?
Stop the weird elitist movie
I
guy
will
stuff.
not stop it. I am a movie critic, sir. Okay? I am allowed to be elitist. I lay claim to the title of Roger Ebert. I should. Anyway, Owen Wilson, he's in. Okay, Shanghai Noon, Zoolander, Starsky and Hutch, The Wedding Crashers, You, Me, and Dupree, How Do You Know, The Big Year, The Internship, Marley and Me, Night at the Museum, 1, 2, 3, and Cars.
So he was in Cars.
He was in the 3 of them. Do you like Cars?
Yeah. No.
The movies?
No.
Well, you can't drive, so.
Oh yeah, I have no opinion. No car, no opinion.
You're not allowed to have an opinion on the Pixar franchise. The Pixar franchise Cars. I tell you a film series that he was in that I know you have a passion for.
Go on.
Night at the Museum.
I do like those, don't you? Night at the Museum. Only recently. When I say recent, probably 4 years ago.
I was definitely pre-COVID. I remember you randomly texting me out of nowhere to inform me you had watched and thoroughly enjoyed Night at the Museum and then continued to watch the next 2. I was like, okay, cool.
That's the thing, a lot of people love hating on Ben Stiller as well, and I never really got it.
like some of his characters are meant to be annoying little
I would have been one of them.
weirdos.
Yeah, I was never a big
Yeah.
fan. I've come
But-
around a lot since, but I would have
Yeah,
been Ben Hiller. Fuck me, I can't speak. A Ben Stiller hater.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I mean, again, Robin Williams is in it as well, and it's very touching. And I think there's any movie now that has Robin Williams in it, I'm just gonna always be like, yeah, it gets an extra 2 points. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah. I don't mind. I've come around a lot, like I said, on Ben Stiller. I used to enjoy him at all. I never particularly, but it's mostly like the comedy stuff when he was like massive. I was never mad about any of it, really.
Yeah.
Remember when like him and Adam Sandler were both fucking ginormous? When they were all doing, Adam Sandler was doing 50 First Dates and Ben Stiller was doing fucking that one with Jennifer Aniston, where Along Came Polly. They have a
Polly did
have a
Meet the
bird in it.
Fockers as well.
Well, Meet the Parents first.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Meet the Fockers is the second one, and then what's the third one called?
Meet the Kids.
Is it just called The Fockers? No.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't remember. There's a third one. I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I remember the first one.
They weren't like Meet the. I like Meet the Parents. The first one. That was a good movie. It was fine. I know. I mean, again, it's because he was in Zoolander, the greatest movie of all time.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Add that to the when we get, we're gonna start like a wiki for like a sure it'll be grand wiki or something.
Yeah.
Just lore under each of our names. Lore. Dan's favorite movie is Zoolander. He's claimed on multiple occasions it's the greatest movie ever made.
You know how I'm not always great at quoting something perfectly. I always have an approximate quote for everything.
Yeah.
That's my talent. Fairly sure I know the script at this stage.
Oh, for the whole Zoolander. Take it away.
Almost like, yeah. But like, I think you could draw me anywhere and I could end the scene. Like, let's do that for a challenge for someday.
I really want to pick something now and see what happens.
Do it for a challenge. It would be fun.
Okay, fine. Back to Owen Wilson. Enough about Ben Stiller. Or will Ben Stiller be talking about him all evening?
Yeah. Also, it's nice to see Adam Sandler's getting some retribution for actually being quite a talented man who
I love
just
Adam
did a lot of
Sandler.
shitty movies.
I always liked Adam Sandler, to be honest. That was I always thought his shit. Because growing up, it was like the funniest movies ever to me were like The Waterboy and like
also when he
Big Daddy was like
Big Daddy was
hilarious.
Cool. Big Daddy was the biggest
like,
movie at the time.
Yeah, I thought they were all fucking brilliant, and now he's like
management was so good.
Yeah, like Adam Sandler's great, and he's also like genuinely. I've watched a lot of like interviews with him and stuff, and he did like like a commencement speech for a university, I think maybe last year, semi-recently. He just seems like a genuinely lovely guy.
Yeah. And
way to go, the Sandman.
He just makes movies to hang out with his friends abroad.
And
it's like, nice.
Wouldn't you?
Fucking genius. Yeah.
He the man signed like a fucking 15 picture deal with Netflix, where Netflix were like, okay, we're going to give you money to make 15 movies. Make whatever the hell you want. And he does like one really good one and then churns out some utter garbage. Like, he's just like, fuck it, I can't be arsed doing another one. He has to do like 2 a year for the next decade or some fucking rubbish. And he'll do like Uncut Gems, which is like, gets him nominated for like Best Actor at the Academy Awards and everything. And then he'll do like Hoobie's Halloween or something, where he's basically playing like his character from The Waterboy, but as a adult man who loves Halloween. And it's just like, sure, fine, do whatever you want, Adam Sandler.
You'll still watch the fucking laugh.
Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, go ahead, man. Yeah.
Mind you, I didn't laugh at Pixel.
No, Pixel is terrible. Pixel is a very bad movie. I mean, he has some stinkers, let's be honest, but
that one's just.
No, he hasn't.
I'm sorry. Can you? Do you think there's someone out there who's just like, that's my favorite movie?
Definitely, yeah.
Folks,
I know.
If you know anyone, literally, no, hold on, Cosmic, one sec. I genuinely mean this. If you know anyone, through friends of a friend for a friend, please get in contact with the show of someone who loves Pixel as and is that one of their favorite movies. and we want to bring them onto the show, and we'll review Pixel and interview them and talk to them. I want this to happen.
I won't.
If you even have an idea, you keep looking for them.
Dan will talk to them. I'll stare at them like they're like an albino gorilla in a zoo or something.
No, this will be like first contact.
What are you? We're gonna hire. I'll have to hire a
peace?
translator because they definitely don't speak my language.
Yeah, but no, we will do this, and we'll credit whoever gets them in contact with us.
Yeah, it'll be the other person's handler, so they'll have to come on with them. Okay, sorry. Enough about let's stop shitting on Pixels fans. All one of them.
I was not.
Adam Sandler. We back to whatever the fuck. Okay, let's talk about Bottle Rocket.
All right, Bottle Rocket.
Yeah.
Is there a plot in this movie?
Not really. It's okay. So the gist of it.
Not always who you thought.
The story, I suppose, is Owen Wilson and his brother Luke, who are Dingham. I never quite got what they were saying his name was. Is it Dingham or Dignam? It's Dignam. It's Dignam. It's Dignam. I just got it. It's the same as Mark Wahlberg's character in The Departed is called Lieutenant Dignam. So it's Dignam. And his brother, not his brother, his real life brother, who is not playing his brother in the movie, is just his friend, Anthony, or is Anthony his fake name? Whatever his name is. They want to be successful. They've just seen Ocean's 11. And they want to do that, basically. And they're planning heists and they want to do crime or whatever, but they're like terrible at it. That's basically the story, right?
Yeah, I think it's also about two men who are kind of, I mean, like the the girl in the motel said, you're kind of like trash flying through. Like there is no real direction where these two guys are going. They're just kind of coasting by in life. You know, just doing anything that sounds exciting to them and cool to them. Like they're not like sitting down and thinking, "Oh no, we got to think of a career." No, they had some 2-week like adventure with like these not even gang people, like these mobster kind of people, and they learned a few tricks from them and something like, oh, we want to be that. It really feels like what happens if you take like two 6-year-old boys and just give them like adult powers, send them on their way, because they really do seem to just be chasing this quite child-like dream, I think, of being like professional robbers.
Yeah, they are children, really, aren't they? They're like they're essentially
100%, yeah.
They're there's no real. It's a hard one. What this reminds me of, I think I said it when we were watching. Like the movie feels very indie, and something it's kind of like it's almost a little bit like what was that one that came out a couple of years ago, like the Florida Project. Have you seen that with the Green Goblin?
Which one?
Yeah, in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
What's his name? What the hell is his name? He's massive. He's like
I know.
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe. Dear God.
I was using all sorts of ways to trigger his name, including that one scene of him in some old movie where he has a giant penis that scares people.
Hell yeah, he does. Way to go, Willem. Also a really nice man.
Yeah, apparently.
Sorry, I forgot where I was going with that. Just thinking about Willem Dafoe's penis.
A lot of a dick, but not much of a dick.
The Florida Project. He's in that, which is a small budget kind of indie thing that came out about. He plays he's like the manager of a motel, which I guess is where the connection came from. This because in Bottle Rocket they spend a lot of time in one of those motels. It feels like it's very self-contained sort of. It's almost. It's a bit like Richard Linklater type stuff as well, whereby it's almost like there's not much happening. You're just watching these two guys live.
Yeah, it's
for
a
a bit.
slice of their life. Like we're just getting like a section down somewhere in their life. A quick peek in. There is no real beginning. There's no real ending. Like the only beginnings we get, that's like one of the guys had put himself into like a healthcare place, and clearly like he seems emotionally exhausted or something like that, and it's clear that they all had kind of dreams of like being professional thieves before, and it just kind of bubbles away. Like, I mean, you could easily say that maybe Owen Wilson's character could have been arrested at the beginning of this movie, and we would have had the same like thing happen. Like, I don't think anything has changed about any of them. They're still them.
Yeah, they don't go through necessarily a whole lot of character growth or anything, but it's not.
It's not wrong.
There's no major. It's weird, like, to view it from. While I think the script is quite strong. There's actually some quite funny moments in it.
Yeah.
From a like script writing 101 type perspective, there's no real.
Crescendo.
It doesn't feel like it never feels like the movie's building to something. It never feels like, okay, like we know they're kind of sort of working towards this heist plan that they have that they never really go into any elaborate detail on, because I guess they don't have any. Like, you never get the impression that, like, okay, this is like this movie, it's building towards like them, like something major is going to happen. They're going to have like one of the characters is going to have a dark moment, and the other character is going to have a fucking like. It's just sort of everything's like.
We get it's like him giving your one like $500 that we have no money.
Yeah, they have a row briefly.
Yeah. And even then it's just like, I don't think they can even really be angry at each other for long. They're just like, hey, this is who I am and this is who you are.
Yeah, it's
That's
never all of the, which I guess now I've seen a lot of people describe Bottle Rocket as it's a Wes Anderson movie that's not really a Wes Anderson movie. However, I disagree. Yeah. I think that a lot of the visual style associated with Wes Anderson is obviously not fully realized yet. Like,
no,
there's bits of it.
Though. Yeah.
There's bits of it. You can kind of see him figuring out how he likes to frame characters and stuff like that, and you can kind of say, if he made this now, that shot would look very different in some scenes. But where I would say it's the most Wes Anderson is that, like, for the most part, the biggest problem I've always had with his movies is none of them really feel like they have ups and downs. They're all very, like, I think the pacing is often an issue in that, like, it's very just flat the whole way through.
Yeah.
There's never really like, we start here and then we bring you up and then you come down and then we bring you up again. It's just kind of like, here we are. 2 hours later, here we are still.
Yeah. And you know what it is? It's also that I think his characters are quite verbal. The do don't tell, he says, fuck that rule. Like, his characters say everything they think, everything they feel, everything they want to do, everything they should think the other person should do, and everything is discussion. Like, I was kind of thinking to myself, it's almost like someone was in a cafe and they listened to the next table over having a conversation, and they just made a movie about that.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's a good way of putting it. And I think you can definitely still see all of that in Bottle Rocket. It's not like this is a complete departure. It's not like you watch this and go, this is the guy who made Grand Budapest Hotel. Like, it's very, it's still, you go, oh yeah, this is the guy who made Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Like, even the shot, even though he still meticulously pays attention to everything that's in a shot. He makes sure that dress a certain way. Like I made a point that Owen Wilson's character wears white throughout the whole thing, and in the end ends up in overalls, white in prison. You know, the only time he doesn't wear white is when he's wearing like when they're doing the heist, which I think we had the only kind of high moment where he says, "You got to go. I need to live my life," and says, "Go, go, go."
Yeah.
And, like, you know, that's the only thing.
But even that moment, the film doesn't make you feel like it's a big thing, in the sense that like there's nothing. The soundtrack isn't adding to it. Like, the acting doesn't like dial up a notch. There's no big fucking swell of the sound. It's all delivered at the same energy. Intonation and energy, and it's like everything is quite flat. Not flat in a bad way. It's clearly it's an obvious choice that they do it that way, but it's like it feels odd from a filmmaking perspective. It's a different choice to have it be done that way. I don't quite know why he does the things that way, but you know,
it's just sort of makes him different, you know.
Yeah, I must look up. I want to see like an interview with W. Anderson. See what does he talk like that? I wonder. Does he just like is everything very like droll?
And he just does interviews. No.
Or he's like Willy Wonka gallivanting. It's like every second word is like
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Bottle Rocket. Anything else you want to say about it before we move on?
No, not really. Should we give our final views?
Final views.
Yes, Mr. Frodo. It's over now.
Okay. Something we touched on briefly that I want to bring back now before I ask you for your final grading of Bottle Rocket or whatever. A certain Mr. Martin Scorsese, aka possibly the greatest filmmaker of all time ever in history. You made a face. You don't agree?
No, I don't disagree.
Good. I don't know if I fully agree, but I don't disagree either.
I mean, there's not much to hate about Scorsese. He does excellent movies.
Fantastic. I can't.
I don't always agree with everything he says outside of movies.
I do.
Yeah, I know you do. I don't know why, but you do.
My God. I can't wait for his next one. Killers of the Flower Moon looks stunning. Anyway, Martin Scorsese, and this came from Roger Ebert, the once infamous movie critic. Martin Scorsese was on his show, and he was asked to. Well, they both selected them, but only Scorsese is important right now. He was asked to pick his 10 best movies in his opinion of the 1990s, of the whole decade. I have the list in front of me. If you want to see them, he actually picked 11.
Oh.
Because at number 10 he had a tie. He couldn't decide between two movies. So when his list, Martin Scorsese's the best movies of the 1990s, of the whole decade. Number 10, a tie between Spike Lee's Malcolm X and Michael Mann's Heat.
Good movies.
Yep. Every movie on this list. Number 9, the Coen Brothers' Fargo.
Yeah.
Number 8, David Cronenberg's Crash.
Yeah.
Number 7, Wes Anderson's Bottle Rocket, which of Bottle Rocket, Scorsese said, "I love the people in this film who are genuinely innocent more than even they know."
Yes, they're very innocent. Like you were saying, it's a boyhood dream that they're following. Like.
Yeah, great. Number 6 for Scorsese, Lars von Trier's Breaking the Waves. Number 5, Abel Ferrara's Bad Lieutenant. Number 4, Stanley Kubrick's last movie, Eyes Wide Shut. Number 3, Wu Nian Zhen's A Borrowed Life. Number 2, Terrence Malick's The Thin Red Line. Number one, according to Scorsese, is a movie I actually have heard of but never seen. God, I'm going to butcher his name. I usually do. Tien Zhuang. Please correct me if I'm saying that wrong. The Horse Thief by Tien Zhuang. So that was Scorsese's list. Hey Dan, what's your top 10 movies? No, we're not doing it now.
Zoolander 1, 2.
Did Zoolander?
Museum.
When did Zoolander come out? Now, hang on
3,
a second.
4, 5.
No. Zoolander. Did Zoolander come out in the 90s? It didn't.
No, it didn't. It was early 2000s.
2001, the first one came out.
Yeah.
Well, the second one was Zoolander number 2. Anyway, those are Scorsese's. I don't know if I have a favorite movie of the 90s. It's not Bottle Rocket, though I liked it.
My
probably
favorite
something
movie
stupid.
of the 90s. God, I don't know. No, we'll do that for another day. I'm not putting this out of nowhere.
Probably Jurassic Park. I'd be lying if I said otherwise, to be fair.
Good movie, though.
There you go. That's what Scorsese thought of the 90s and of Bottle Rocket. He quite liked it. He put it in his top 10 of the whole decade, which for a debut feature film, like to have Martin Scorsese.
Scorsese says it. That was for the last lads.
If Scorsese, if I knew he'd even heard of a movie that I made.
If Martin Scorsese watched the movie we made and went, it's shit. We go, oh my God.
He's seen it?
Watched our movie.
Martin Scorsese saw our movie? It's incredible. Like, Wes Anderson and Owen Wilson must have exploded when they heard that. Like, it's insane.
You know what Owen Wilson probably said? He probably said, wow.
No, that was poor. I didn't do that very well.
Yeah.
Wow.
You need to do it nasally. Sorry. Wow. I think we got a new sound effect for the boards.
Ka-chang.
Top of the morning.
Hey, it's back. So wrap it up for us, Dan. What did you think of Bottle Rocket overall?
You know what? It's a very solid, self-contained movie. Is it a high thrilling film? No, it's not. Is it an interesting study into people with quite naive and youthful minds? Yeah, it is. I mean, and I'd rather watch movies now that had people that have a bit of a unique perspective compared to other movies. We've seen the movies where the main guy is the hero and he has to do this because he has to protect someone because he thinks it's right. And here are just two lads who don't really have a vision for their life. They're not aiming for like anything, general. They just said, like, remember that time we hung out in the desert with these like 3 guys and they were like professional criminals? That was so cool. We should do that. That's pretty much it, And it's refreshing. Movies often, I think give us an opportunity to live other lives. I think any media does. I think that's what storytelling is about. It allows us to experience things that we might not even be able to experience in real life and give us another point of view. For better or worse, I don't think I've necessarily learned anything. Maybe a few things. I mean, when we see him falling for the girl at the hotel and like falling for her heart and like that awkward sort of first love bumble, you can start seeing like little mirrors of yourself when you were younger, like, oh, I've been there, and the harsh kind of like rejection in the end and all this kind of stuff. Like it feels like when you were like 17, 18 and you had all these aspiring hopes and ideals and these ideas of being suave and romantic. And I mean, this movie is almost like kids who want to be like swashbuckling pirates, but life, you can't maintain that. So you can't have that energy. It just falls apart in the end. And like they fall apart. One ends up in prison. The guy at the beginning was, in a mental health care center for, because of exhaustion. He was like pulled away from his family. They live a very unsustainable life. And it's not even like it's a terrible life. It's just something that doesn't really work out,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get you. I quite liked it.
Yeah.
to be honest. Again, I think the script is really strong. I think it's probably the strongest element of the whole thing is the writing for me. I think that I think there's some truly funny moments in it. It's I don't like my sense of humor is fucking messed up at this point, to be honest. I laugh at weird stuff. But like there was at least 3 times in this where I was properly laughing. Like either through like to just through mostly through the writing is through something like one of them said, even that like why are we putting strips on our noses and like stuff like that.
Yeah, or
I think
just like the guy translating for his girlfriend says, "Just tell him I love him." I was like, "All right,
okay, yeah." Like there's some really good stuff in it. I think that as always, and I've said this probably 2 or 3 times at this stage, it's always fun to see, like when we did Ghost in the Shell, or when we did some other thing that we did. It's nice to see like this is where Wes Anderson and Owen Wilson, 2 like household names, started. It's always fun from that perspective to look back on things and see where they came from and stuff and how they've developed. I think that overall I quite liked it. I don't know. I'm not gonna like. Yeah, I feel like I'd watch it again. I think.
yeah."
I feel like if
years
some,
down
I
the
feel
line,
like somebody
you
was
know.
like, "Oh, you want to watch?" Like, if somebody was like, "Hey, we'll stick on a film or something," and Bottle Rocket was there, I'm like, "Oh, that's actually quite good. We can watch Bottle Rocket. It's nice. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not gonna. You don't need to have." No, that's a disservice to it. You need to, you can watch it anyway. I liked it overall. I'm losing the run of myself at the moment. There you go, folks. Bottle Rocket by Wes Anderson, available to watch if you know how to watch things. What are we doing next, Dan?
Next week, we're doing an Argentinian movie. It's called Wild Taste, and it's an anthology of 6 short stories. But we'll talk about that then. So, folks, we'll see you next time. Look after yourselves, love each other, love yourself. Have a good one. Bye.
Asherlock.